What's up, everybody? So, a little brew shed update. Yeah, so we got the shed assembled. We got electrical in it now. Next step will be insulation and then drywall. And so yeah, it's been a pretty good progress. So let's take a look here. Right now it looks like it has chicken pox because I went through and put caulk on every single nail head on the shed, and I caulked around the window trim, caulked all around the outside, every seam, every joint, all up inside. Everything's been sealed really well, and that did take some time. I'll tell you, it took me probably about 7 hours worth of time just caulking. I did not pay for the caulk and paint part of the assembly. I thought I would just do that myself, and I do have a power painter dealio that I can use. But yeah, I've caulked all along through here, every little joint, and you know. So when I did the pad, though, it was very obvious that it did bow a little bit here where they just didn't have this even, but it still works great as a shed pad. A little bit of shimming just because, you know, like an inch or so off here there for leveling purposes, but worked good. But let's talk about the electrical, because that's a pretty key part of this. I'm gonna open this up. I don't have it locked right now. This is the inside. This particular shed usually comes with like a loft that's installed, and then like a workbench. I did not want that. All I wanted was 4 walls and a roof. Give me more options as far as how I want to set this up. But I did ask the electrician, and actually electricians are a lot cheaper here in Houston than Midland, I've noticed. This is the main line coming into the breaker box, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But hey, ran it. I've got a 120 there. We've got a 240 here, so if I decide later to upgrade to a 240 boiler, I can, and get more rigorous boiling activity going. And you know, it just runs it on. There's another 110 there and another 240, because what I want to do here is a 240, we're going to have a window, like a through the wall AC unit here. And I'm actually probably going to have it low so that you can't see it over the fence or anything, just so it's not super obvious that it's there. But yeah, I'm going to do a through the wall unit, and most of them are 24.5. I think the sleeve's like 25 inches. So what I'm actually going to have to do is, wherever the sleeve's going to go, I'm going to have to cut the boards, and I'm going to have to put new boards in and just kind of screw them for support reasons, and then nail them from the outside as well. So that'll be interesting. And then over here I have another 110. And then over there I have a 110 and a light switch, which goes up to here where my light fixture will go. And up there, I asked him if he could put another 110 outlet up there, because I would like to be able to put maybe like a corner fan, like a rustic oscillating style fan up there. And then I said, man, that would be a good spot right there. Let me back up some here. That would be a good spot right up there for like a 32-inch TV or something. So I'm thinking like hangout spot, you know. And then I want to put my kegerator, my 4-tap keezer, over here in this area. And then over here, these are just thoughts, things could change. Over here I want to put like a table that, you know, folds up when I want to work, and then folds down when I'm not working. Make use of the space wisely. But yeah, it'd be like kind of like kegerator over here. Thinking like some benches or some seats or whatever. A little hangout, sit down spot. Have some beers and stay out of the hot, humid weather. Insulation will be, I can do the insulation myself. I may or may not drywall it myself. I don't know. It seems pretty straightforward on the drywall for the walls portion, but the ceiling is kind of tricky. I'm thinking, I mean, especially like right over here, and when I try to drywall, there's clearly going to have to be like a flat piece that goes all the way across through here, and then angled pieces that come up to it. Now I'm pretty sure if I find myself a little drywall dude on the side, I could probably get the drywall work done really cheap anyways, and it'll look a lot better than if I did it, I promise you that. But so that's what's going on with the shed right now. It's come a long way already. I mean, it took the guy 2 full days to build this thing. He framed it on site, everything. Built the walls, they're 24 on center. The flooring is actually a very good floor setup. It's 12-inch on center on the floor, so the floor is not gonna ever really bow or anything. And if you look at the floor, I upgraded the flooring to like this more solid style floor. And what I wanna do is either tile on top of this, or I might do just like a vinyl floor. Something that's easy to clean up from spilt beer, etc. Not really worried about moisture barrier or anything like that. You got good airflow underneath of this thing. It does have a crawl space under it, so I'm not really worried about water buildup or anything. Let's take a walk outside. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you'll see this is raised up about 3 inches or so. All the water does like to puddle back here. I do get a lot of puddling back here, but it never will get up on top of this slab, this crushed granite slab. So I'm not really worried about that. And you can see there's a nice little air gap underneath of it. But yeah, he built this thing on site, man. No skids, no moving it in one big solid piece, and I'm pretty thrilled about it being built on site. But yeah, I caulked the hell out of this thing. Every little seam, every little nail, head, everything. I want it to be solid. And I'm actually looking at paints for from Sherwin-Williams, so I want to use a really good brand paint on this. And I'm going to do multiple coats of latex. But yeah, I mean, just going to use a really good paint on it. And the plan, like I said before, is to have a deck that comes out and meets right up to the shed. This will be kind of like a nice sitting area for friends and stuff. Have some beers out on the patio, especially this fall, will be really nice. So I'm actually getting quotes on putting a deck in as well, like a low-level deck. But yeah, that's what's going on with that. So back to the shed. Electricity. Show you. He put in I pointed out the breaker box earlier here. And I may put another stud on this side just for something for it to grab onto more. But yeah, this is the box. And these are for all the different outlets and stuff. The 240s have their own dedicated lines. Then the 110s are on like a series together. And then this one here is like the main breaker. If I turn this off, it shuts everything off to the shed. So I don't have to worry about, if I ever need to like put a light fixture in, which I will be doing later for that, I just hit that main breaker, boom, shuts everything off. And if I really worry about that, then I can go over here, and I'll show you over here in a minute. But this is the main box where the power's coming in. That runs up and in there. I did go ahead and caulk it myself. Just ran a bead of caulk around it to ensure that no water gets in there. So you see all the markings. Orange is cable line. The red stuff was actually my electric utility lines, and I just did that call before you dig thing, and they came out and spray painted where all the lines are, and you see it goes over there, the little arrow, and then it goes over here, it goes that way, and you can see you got cable, you got electric line going that way. And so I was very pleased to hear or see that the shed isn't actually sitting on top of the utilities, because I have a 10-foot easement here, so the shed is actually about 7 feet here. So there's about 3 feet here that the shed sits on that easement. So I was very pleased to know that if they do any digging or anything, I'm not going to have to really worry about them probably having an issue with the shed being here. So, and you can see it just kind of continues on that way. That's where all the main electrical lines are running. So, let's go over here. He made a trench, and he ran a solid, pretty heavy-duty cable set. Yeah, it's conduit to a certain point, and then it's just cable. And it's buried about 24 inches, I believe he said. And he ran it all the way down. And they ended up getting a ditch trencher machine because there's a lot of tree roots here. And you can see they did hit some tree roots trying to run that thing. They tried to do it by hand, and that was a no-go. So they went back and got a trencher and came back. So there's a buried gas line. And I'll talk about this in a minute because this is stupid. And I'll tell you why it's stupid. So they ran it, came all the way over here, and then they came up. They put this conduit in and ran the wire up through the conduit and gave me this second box here, which is a sub panel from my main panel. And what he did was, I don't know, this might be boring some of you, but I gotta talk about it. Okay, so originally my AC systems, furnace, etc. were on this breaker. So what he did was he disconnected them from here, made this like a connecting panel piece or jumper breaker, and then it ran down and wired into this one. So this is just like a main breaker. I can shut this off, technically just shut this off, and it shuts off all the power to the shed as well. So, and then these are like the 220 amps that are in there right now. And those are running over to the shed, and then there's another one here running over there as well. I believe. I am no electrician, but that's how he kind of explained it, that this was actually the main breaker for over there. And I do take that back, actually. This is to go over there, and I believe the AC system is on here now. But I believe that's how it works. So that's that. So that's my new sub panel that he put in. Totally well worth just paying somebody else to do this crap, because like I said, I am no electrician, man, by any means. So one more thing I want to talk about is the gas line. So there's my gas meter, right? And I've got a 10-foot easement, utility easement, right? Well, I don't think CenterPoint Gas gave a damn about the easement, because this is what they did. They ran down, you see the yellow flags, that's where the gas line is. Okay, oh yeah, it's gonna run down. Nope, we're veering over here now. We're veering. We're gonna go, let's just go through the shed. So my gas line runs down the center and then through the shed and comes out like here. And then goes on through the fence there and goes on to whatever over on that side of the fence. So CenterPoint Energy gave zero shits about running it into the utility easement. So my gas line is running through my yard, and I'm so glad I called and had them locate every line and everything, because this could have been a real nightmare. When these guys started trenching, we could have been in some real trouble if they hit one of those lines. So I was very happy to see where everything was. And they surprisingly didn't even hit any sprinkler lines, which I really thought was going to happen. And they just went right on down, and boom, it's done. So I just got insulation and drywall to do next. And it might be well worth my time just to have somebody else do the drywall. But the insulation, I can get the insulation at any of these big box stores, R13 or R15, and put it in there. So that's the brew shed update. Just thought I would hop on here real quick, share that with you guys. We're at 15 minutes here on time. So I will be presenting another update here soon enough. So cheers.